Brook. And every time there was a vote, I saw every single counselor with their hand like this. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do from now on, so that I really can
Just put
see
up your
everybody's
hand.
voting.
Okay.
Got to put your hand up so I can see. All right. I'm going to take the attendance right now. So you don't have to put your hand up because I won't be watching. Just say present. Okay, Winston Sundstrom. Winston Sundstrom, are you present?
Yes.
Okay, I see you present. Carl Mayer.
Yes.
Thank you. Brent Orr.
Present.
Alain Gagnon.
Oui, présent.
Maurice Beauregard.
Present.
Donald Gagnon.
Present.
John Armstrong.
Present.
Debbie Laporte.
Present.
Serge Newberry. Serge Newberry. Kim Cartier-Villeneuve.
Present.
Gilles Dion.
Present.
Lynn Cameron.
Present.
James Gibson.
Present.
Sandra Murray.
Present.
Doris Ranger.
Present.
Colleen Lariviere.
Present.
Karen Kelly.
Present.
David Rochon.
Present.
Bernard Waugh.
Present.
Annie Viancourt. Not needed tonight, I guess.
Not.
Okay, thank you. Travis Lattiser.
Present.
Is Kim Lesage on tonight?
Present.
Okay. Natasha Guimet.
Present.
Julian Gagnon.
Present.
Colleen Jones.
Present.
Cindy Phillips.
Present.
Jason Durant.
Present.
Alex Perron.
Oui, présent.
Okay, perfect. I'll go back and ask Serge Newberry. Okay. We will go to item 2, which is the declaration of conformity of the notice of convocation, CM Art 153, just for information.
Yeah, but this special sitting of the council has been convened by Warden Jane Tuller and by Mayor Brent Orr and Mayor Maurice Beauregard in accordance with the Article 152 of the Municipal Code, and the notice of convocation and the agenda have been sent to the regional councillors by email Friday, January 29th, 5 p.m. And this respects the 3 days required before holding the special meeting in accordance with Article 156 of the Municipal Code.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Number 3, just to announce that by ministerial decree, there is a video recording of this sitting as well as Facebook Live. And the video recording will be available, I believe, on the MRC website as per usual by tomorrow. Number 4, the use of the language of your choice. Déclaration. À celles et ceux présents ce soir, je rappelle que c'est votre droit de vous exprimer librement dans la langue officielle de votre choix. Au besoin, une ressource de la MRC pourra en assurer la traduction. Number 5, for the reading and adoption of the agenda. Tonight we have 2 mayors. It's the mayor of Mansfield and Fort Collonge who have their regular council meetings. And so for their sakes, I'm going to suggest that the order of the agenda be changed. We're going to move items 9 and 10 to become numbers 7 and 8. And then items 7 and 8 will become 9 and 10. So could I now have someone move the resolution to adopt the agenda with those changes? Moved by
Sandra.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Murray. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Now we are going to take the time to recognize a very important citizen of the Pontiac. As you all know, you were informed on February the 1st that Charlotte Lecuyer passed away after a long battle with cancer. Charlotte Lecuyer was born August 16th, 1943. She went to the University of Quebec at Hull, now the University of Quebec en Outaouais, and obtained a bachelor's degree in social work. She would later add a master's degree from the University of Sherbrooke. Charlotte was, and this was in social work. Charlotte was a social worker and a former general manager of Pontiac CLSC Clinic. She was also an administration member for several health and social services associations, many which she started in the Pontiac region. She was also an administration member to the Centre Local de Développement de la MRC de Pontiac. Charlotte was a member of the National Assembly of Quebec for the riding of Pontiac in Western Quebec, and a member of the Quebec Liberal Party caucus, excuse me, from 2003 to 2014. She was the parliamentary secretary for Health Minister Philippe Couillard until 2007. During her first term, she was featured in the film Cher Électeur. And I would like to add on a personal note that when I first moved to the Pontiac in 2012, I met with Charlotte and discovered that she was a very interesting person, a very intelligent person, and someone who really cared about her community and her region. And she did a very special thing. I happened to mention to her that my family had spent a long time in the legislature of Quebec City, and she arranged something that was amazing. She invited our family and actually a medallion was given to our family recognizing the Bryson's contribution, and I'll never forget her for that. And so I know many of you knew her better than I knew her, and I just wanted to give any mayors the opportunity to say something about Charlotte, and then we're going to finish with a resolution. So would any mayors like to speak up?
I would.
Yes.
Sandra
Yes, Mayor Murray.
from Shawville. She was my boss when I worked at the hospital for a number of years, and I got along well with her, and I felt that she did a good job there.
Okay, thank you very much. Jill?
Yes, Charlotte was also my boss for many years. When I first started, she's the one that gave me my first chance at the CLSC. She was always there for anybody that needed help or whatever. She was there. She took her job like it was. She was, comment je dirais bien ça? Elle prenait sa job à cœur. C'est une personne qui s'est donnée pour le Pontiac au niveau de la santé. Elle a pris le CLSC où ce qui était, puis elle l'a emmené dans quelque chose de plus gros, plus beau, meilleur service. Elle, c'était toujours des services pour la clientèle qui passe en premier. Puis je pense que la santé dans le Pontiac reflète encore de Charlotte. Merci, Charlotte.
Merci, Jill. Anyone else?
If I may, Jane.
Mayor
If I
Beauregard?
may, sorry.
Yes.
I would just like to say, as we all know, Charlotte was a resident of Campbell's Bay during her passing. And I would like to send our condolences out to her and her family. We had a great loss to our community, and we wish her family the best.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor Beauregard. Anyone else?
Yeah, Winston.
Mayor Sundstrom?
So yes, I had a long association with Charlotte Lecuyer. Lots of good discussions. She was a great supporter of the Pontiac. She wasn't my boss, but she had lots of advice for me. And so I'd also extend, on behalf of Rose Alimet, our condolences to her family and thank her for her contribution to the Pontiac.
Thank you very much, Mayor Sundstrom.
It's Colleen. I Yes, when I was DG for Campbell's Bay, I worked with Charlotte on the water project. We had lots of very intense discussions, and she helped out in lots of different ways. She was a trooper for the Pontiac, and she did work hard in her years when she served as member. So our sincere condolences from the municipality of Leachfield to the family. And, may she rest in peace.
Thank you very much. Any further comments?
And from Sheenborough as well, we'd like to send,
Veronica?
on behalf of our municipality, we would like to send our condolences to her family. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Jane as well, Kim from the municipality of Otter Lake. When I was DG as well for Danford Lake, I did have some conversations with Charlotte, and she was very, as we say, she avait vraiment pensé à caca, c'est vrai. Whenever we asked her for stuff, you know, she was very helpful with her suggestions, and from the municipality of Otter Lake as well, we would like to offer sincere condolences to the family of Madame Lecuyer. Thank you.
Also, Jane, on behalf of the municipality of Clarendon, we've had a fair amount of dealings with Charlotte when she was in government, and she was always very respectful and was very much to listen to what you had to say, and then she would give advice in several areas. Also, Marley, my wife, as Sandra, she worked at the hospital for many years, and Charlotte was her boss also. And we just give our sympathy to the family.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, it's Donnie.
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, Charlotte had a heart for the Pontiac. She worked hard for the Pontiac, and condolences to her family.
Thank you very much. Mayor Kelly.
Behalf of the minister.
Oh, sorry, Mayor Kelly, then Mayor Orr. Go ahead, Mayor Kelly.
Karen Kelly of Thorn. I met Jane while I was starting to into the working as a DG in Thorn. And one of the best things I remember her saying is to always be true to your municipality and to yourself. And I'd like to express all condolences to the family of Charlotte Lecuyer. She's been a great lady.
Okay, thank you very much.
On behalf of the municipality of Bristol, Charlotte was always very supportive, and we wish the condolences to her family.
Thank you very much.
Lynn,
Mayor Cameron.
on behalf of the municipality of Fort, we would like to send our condolences as well. And Charlotte had a little bit of help when we were amalgamating the 3 fire departments, Bryson, the Grand Calumet, and Fort Ash. Once again, our condolences.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else?
Well, on behalf of the municipality of Rapid-des-Bourget, I had a lot of good conversations with Charlotte, and she was always very informative on anything that I asked her. So I'm deeply sorry, and we wish our condolences to the family.
Thank you very much. Okay. Mayor Gagnon.
Oui, c'est ça. Mes sympathies à la famille. Elle a été une résidente de Bryson longtemps. Était ma voisine. Fait qu'encore une fois, mes sympathies à la famille.
Merci. Mayor Laporte.
I'd like to offer our condolences from the municipality of Fort Collonges to Charlotte's family. I had the honor and privilege to work with Charlotte when I was the president of the co-op for the arena, and she gave me a lot of help and a lot of advice. And like everybody is saying, like she was a true fighter for the Pontiac, and she fought for the co-op, and she helped the municipality a lot. So to all the family, our most sincere condolences.
Okay, thank you. Are there any further comments?
David?
Mayor Rochon?
Yes, I also had the privilege to work with Charlotte at with her council, and she helped her council and myself immensely. On behalf of the municipality of Waltham, we offer her family our deepest condolences.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments?
Aileen and Kaywood.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know the woman too much, but Kim worked for us at the municipality, and she dealt with her, and she seemed to do stuff for the municipality. So my condolences to her family from Aileen and Kaywood.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So many wonderful comments. Anybody else? Okay. So I would like someone to move this resolution, and it will read that on behalf of MRC Pontiac, we move a resolution of gratitude and respect to the life of Charlotte Lecuyer, and that we send our deepest consolation to her family, and she will be greatly missed, and we will always remember her, especially for her strong contribution, especially in healthcare and agriculture. So could I have someone take carriage of that, please? Moved by Mayor Kelly. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Next, we will go to declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest on this agenda? I'm going to declare interest on bylaw 269-2021, which is the issue of the CN corridor, because I do own a business in Fort Collonge, which occasionally has snowmobile customers. So when we come to that item, I will pass the chair to Pro Warden Cartier Villeneuve, and I will absent myself from that part of the meeting, and then I'll come back for the next item. So other than that, we will now go on to item, the newly item 7, which is the discussion and explanations of the Biopark, Biomass Valorization Center and Biorefinery. And I'm making an assumption that this part will be done by Mayor Sundstrom. Is that correct? You sent us 2 pages, I think. Would you like to present those?
I could, if everybody agrees.
Go ahead, yes.
Okay, so at our last meeting on January the 20th, there was some discussion about what the biopark was and what it isn't and so on. So there's a 2-page attachment that I sent out to people today. And it starts with a biopark in the Pontiac with some explanations. So a biomass, we're talking about that, is a low quality plant material used as fuel to produce electricity, heat, and bioproducts. And the most common biomass is wood waste, waste from forest, waste from wood yards, and it could even include hops from farms and other farm products. Biorefinery is the sustainable processing of biomass into energy and other beneficial products. Produces fuels, power, and value-added products. Uses environmentally sound and economically viable processes. And a biorefinery is a facility or a network of facilities. In terms of a biopark, it's a cluster of businesses that use biomass and complement each other. And it's anchored, a biopark is anchored by a biorefinery, similar to the way a shopping center is anchored by a major food store. Natural Resources Canada is involved in studies of the feasibility of a biopark. And so they produced a study presented at the MRC on October the 14th, 2020. And that had to do with the integrated biomass conversion center at the Pontiac Regional Industrial Site. Another study has just recently become available, and I believe will be sent to the MRC shortly. The National Research Council is heavily involved in this project, and their key roles, the key roles of the National Research Council, are business innovation and advancing the knowledge in that area. They have decision-making tools which assesses the science and the technology of the biopark. It assesses the economic feasibility of the biopark and the environmental impact. We have some involvement from CanMet Energy, which is attached to the National Research Council. And CanMet Energy is a leader in clean energy technologies. They have 550 scientists, engineers, and technicians. So it's quite a science-based organization. They have a location in Varennes, Quebec, where they're looking at biorefinery integration, biomass logistics, and lignocellulosic bioproducts. They also have a location in Ottawa where they do thermochemical conversion, gasification, pyrolysis, and biomass pretreatment. There are companies that are in the biopark or interested in the biopark. So Forestbeck Incorporated is a company out of Namur, Quebec, which is just north of Montebello. And there they operate a versatile hardwood sawmill that uses the latest technologies to maximize the valorization of harvested wood and provide high quality products. So Forestbeck is located in the biopark at the Pontiac Industrial Site, and they operate a wood yard there. And they also have some cutting rights in the Pontiac. There's another company called Abritech. It's also located in Namur, Quebec. It's a subsidiary of Forestbeck, and it is focused on sustainable bioenergy. It offers innovative and eco-responsible products and services in the thermochemical biomass transformation. They are now working on their financing to establish a plant, which would be approximately a $3 million project to produce pyrolytic oil at the industrial park. Another company interested is Renmatics, and Renmatics has recently confirmed its interest in the Pontiac Regional Industrial Park as a site for a biorefinery. Renmatics continues to work on its business plan and marketing of the bioproducts. The progress for Renmatics has slowed down due to COVID-19 and the problems of personnel crossing the border. So Renmatics has a potential $15 million support from the Quebec government. There are two Canadians who are at the top administrative staff at Renmatics. One is Mike Hamilton from Kingston, and the other one is Mike Simard from Quebec. Renmatics has visited the Pontiac site. They've been here and they're still interested. The Pontiac site is positioned positively due to the abundance of forest resources and water and the high availability of low-cost electricity. Renmatics' technology is water-based, and they have the patents for that, and it's different from other biorefineries. And finally, Bill Gates is one of the backers of Renmatics, and he's interested in the environment and the products that can come from that. Finally, the Biopark has strong support from the Private Wood Producers Board, and I don't know if there's any opposition to the project. We would need to know what that is. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor Sundstrom. Are there any questions about anything that Mayor Sundstrom has outlined? Otherwise, we're going to go to the resolution. So the first thing that we need to do, first of all, I just wanted to know is for the attendance, is Serge Newberry on yet? Has Serge Newberry joined the meeting?
No.
No? Okay.
I'll be taking his place.
Oh, is that you, Alice? Okay, thank you.
Yes,
very
it's
much.
me.
Thank you very much. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
we're now going to the resolution, which is number 10. This is the resolution support for the Biopark project, Article 142, Municipal Code of Quebec. It was introduced by Brent Orr. The first thing, though, that I need to do is just say that after the last council meeting, January 20th, there was some confusion about the outcome. So I did decide to use my veto power. And so tonight we need to begin by removing the amendment from the original resolution, which was to send the resolution to plenary because plenary is next week. And instead we're dealing with this tonight at our special council meeting. And so I'm going to ask Pro Warden Cartier Villeneuve to move the removal of the amendment of the resolution which had amended it to go to plenary. Can you do that, please, Pro Warden Cartier Villeneuve?
Yes, I propose that.
Okay, thank you very much. So we just have to vote on removing that amendment. All those in favor? We're removing the amendment because it's no longer going to plenary. And then we're going to just look at your resolution.
Can we not comment on the resolution?
Yes, you're going to be able to comment on the resolution. Oh, you mean the resolution of the amendment to go to plenary?
Or we vote yes.
Oh, go ahead. Whatever you like, yes.
So as I understand it in the municipal code, the resolution that was presented on January the 20th has to come up the same way. It can't be amended tonight. And I'd ask the Director General to weigh in on that.
We had quite a discussion about it ahead of time, and I know the point that you are making, Minister Mayor Sundstrom, but just a moment. In the end, we found that it was confusing to have that amendment to go to plenary, and I thought it would clarify things just looking at the resolution without that. But you've been asked a question. Go ahead, Bernard.
Is what is saying Mr. Sundstrom, we check it with our legal advisor and he is correct. We have to start with this resolution that was adopted last week. And we again vote on this and it's for or it's against. That's all. And after that, you can do something else. But we are taking all the entire resolution, and it cannot be amended. We voted as it was voted last week.
Okay, so then we are going to vote on Brent Orr's resolution with the amendment that was taking it to plenary, but we're not going to plenary. So what I am going to ask then, before we just vote on this, because you're saying there can't be any further amendments. So I'm asking then the mayors to vote whether they support the resolution as it stands or not. Okay, so whoever would like to start speaking.
I got a problem, Jane.
Yes, what's your problem?
We had our regular council meeting last night, and we found the resolution needed a little clarification, and we added an amendment to the resolution. And with the amendment added, it was passed unanimously.
Well, Mayor Rochon, Bernard Waugh is saying that we can't add any new amendments tonight, but why don't you explain what it is your council disagreed with in the resolution as it stands? And so if you disagree with the resolution as it stands, then just vote against the resolution. But explain what it was that your council didn't like about the wording of the resolution from Brent Orr.
We just didn't find it clear. One of the things that we found misleading was, well, the amendment that we wanted to put in that was we just wanted in the future, no funding from the MRC Pontiac, but we firmly support it.
So you firmly support it, but you wanted to make sure that firmly supported did not include financial support?
Yes, exactly. It doesn't clarify that.
Well,
and I'd like it.
So you'll have to make a decision because we apparently can't change this resolution. It has to be voted on the way it is. And so without that being changed, you have a choice of supporting this or not. Okay, is there anyone that would like to speak?
Yeah, David, can I ask, it's Colleen, can I ask what part of the resolution is not clear? Because that seemed to be the problem at the last meeting, and so I'm asking, nobody's had any questions, so I guess everybody understands now. So there seemed to be a lot of confusion at the last meeting. So what Winston read, did it clarify anything, or is there stuff that should be clarified further?
Well, it should.
Just a moment. We haven't even read the resolution yet tonight, but what I heard Mayor Rochon say is it's the words firmly support. They're concerned that that could include financial. Is that what it is? It's the resolve to firmly support?
Exactly. That's what it boils down to.
Okay. Any other comments?
Yes, I would like to make one.
Okay, go ahead, Mayor Kelly.
I like your description of everything, but it still doesn't tell me what sort of building we're going to be having. And I know it's a long process, but also is the industrial park, has it been cleared of all industrial sludge? Therefore, any building can be put up and go from there. And then we can then have a proper biomass facility and a biofinery. But until we know for sure, and with like one of those books I had from you, they have a lot of feasibility studies, but they're confidential. I'd like to know why they were confidential.
No, there's nothing that's confidential, Karen. I have a list, a pack of studies that, you know, it's like a book, and we just didn't put them in there because it was too heavy, it was too big. And at the time of the meeting, we stated that if anybody wanted the studies, that we would forward them by email. And we can still do that. That's not an issue whatsoever. As far as the environmental impact, like on the grounds and the sludge and so on and so forth, everything, there's been major cleanup that's been going on since Wakefield has taken over, and since Wakefield has purchased the property. Like I said, like Winston said, Red Maddox the president did come to visit the site, and the NRC, who is, you know, involved in Chemet and Energy, have been on site, and that's all been, there's been, like I said, there's been major cleanup. I can get you more information definitely more information on that if you would like to have it. I have a contact that I can find that out from. I'd be more than pleased to send it to you.
Thank you.
Hey, anybody else?
Colleen.
Okay, Mayor.
In the meantime, I cannot vote for it, but then once I have that information, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pro Warden Cartier Villeneuve.
Yes, I'd just like to know where the next, the funding for the next phases are coming from. How is the next feasibility phases going to be paid?
So far, all the feasibilities are funded by the NRC and by Kenmet and LG. Nothing, those feasibility studies that are being done now for the Biopark, none of that money has come out of MRC pocket. None.
And, okay, so the future ones will be coming from them as well.
That's right. So far, they've invested $500,000. They will continue to invest whatever it is until the studies are done.
Okay, who's all right? That was Pro Warden Cartier Villeneuve. Lynn Cameron, you have your hand up.
Does the MRC have copies of those feasibility studies?
Of course they do. Of course they do. They should actually, by rights, they should be on MRC website. I don't know if they are. I've never looked, but they should be. Because the MRC was part of it. Because it is an MRC project.
Okay.
And the October 14 study that was presented at the MRC to us, I sent that out today, so everybody should have a copy of that October 14 study.
Yeah, it's the same one that we saw at the plenary meeting October 14th, and it's on iDecide. Mayor Laporte?
Basically, we're reading the resolution, and I think the only hiccup here is the funding from the MRC. So if we vote on this resolution and say it's not supported because the funding's not, that it's not funded by the MRC is not indicated in the resolution, are we allowed to just pass the next resolution with that comment in it? Or are we allowed to do that? Or do we have to bring it at another meeting?
Oh, I can speak to that, and that's similar to Mayor Rocho's question. So tonight we have to vote on the resolution that was on the table on January the 20th, but there's nothing to prevent anybody from bringing a resolution at a future meeting. If we support the project, then in our plenary or at our future meetings, we will have to talk about how we're going to support the project.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
If I may, Jane. Again, I just want to reiterate. Sorry. Again, I just want to reiterate that this motion is all about just support of the project, which we don't want to scare them away. We know we're going to need these Canmet Energy and other companies later on when we're doing energy to waste. We're going to need to work with them. So I think it's important to keep this going, seeing the government have invested so much into it. And tonight's nothing about money. It's just about supporting the project. Thank you.
That's exactly how we worded the.
Mayor Gibson was first, and then you. Mayor Gibson?
I would like to see the clarification of the word support, because it could mean many things in there. I'm all for about the biomass, all for putting this project ahead of it, but I would like to see something in there that says the MRC is not responsible for future funding. Otherwise, I can't really, without any indication, go ahead and support this resolution the way it is, because the word support is not clarified.
Mm-hmm. Mayor Orr?
Yeah, it's not any fiscal support. That's why we didn't put anything in the resolution. It was to get everybody's feeling, because all the ministers and that are behind it. We want to let them know we're behind it too, but there was no talk of money in this. As it goes further, there might be, but all that will be voted on when the time comes.
Okay, anybody else?
I'd like to speak. Jane?
Yes, Mayor Armstrong. I can't tell who said. Was that Mayor Rochon again?
It was Mayor Armstrong.
Okay, go ahead, Mayor Armstrong.
Okay, I know we can always think about, let's put it this way, possible negatives. But I think what we need to be doing as 18 mayors and a warden, we've been trying for a long time to get our truckers, our people in the bush, our people that are traveling all over looking for work, to get people back home. We've always talked about, let's bring people in. Well, let's keep the ones we have here, now get them back home and work from that. And I think this is a tremendous opportunity. I can go back to the paper mill once again. I worked there for 36 years. And I'm very happy back then that it wasn't a group of people saying on the mayors, we don't want this place here. Because you can imagine what kind of repercussion that would have been. I'm not trying to persuade anybody, but I'm just saying, let's look at the positive things about this. There's other things that can be worked out, but I think at this time, I would love to see a unanimous vote. Thank you.
Is it possible for Brent to amend his motion?
No.
Resolution, I should say.
No.
Apparently not,
No.
Mayor Beauchamp, apparently not. Okay,
Like,
Is it possible for everybody that is listening to have the resolution read to us again for anybody that wants to hear it?
Yes.
Could it be
I'm gonna
read
have-
to us?
Thanks, good suggestion. Going to have Mayor Orr, I'm going to have Mayor Orr, who it originated with, read the resolution, and then we're going to vote because we have two mayors that have council meetings and we have two other items. Okay, go ahead. Mayor Orr.
Considering the process of the feasibility study for an integrated biomass conversion center at the Litchfield Industrial Biopark, considering a partnership with Fiber Pontiac, Renmatics, Forspect, Abratech, NRC, and CanMed Energy to evaluate the feasibility of an integrated biorefinery and pyrolysis production unit to produce the following bioproducts: high-quality crystalline cellulose, lignin, pyrolysis oil, biochar, bioenergy. Considering the federal initiative's potential use for forest sector residue as a source of energy for local consumption, as well as for a network of federal government buildings in the National Capital Region. Considering biomass has been chosen as a key fuel source to replace currently used fossil fuels. Considering the NRC and CanMed Energy have completed 4 phases of a 7-phase feasibility study. Considering that the remaining phases of the feasibility study will be completed in 2021, 2022. Considering to date, the federal government has invested over $500,000 in the biopark project. Therefore, it is motioned and unanimously resolved to firmly support the biopark project at the Regional Industrial Park, which guarantees the sustainable development of forestry throughout the territory of the MRC Pontiac, which will be made possible by the implementation of a solid industrial structure focused on the production of bioproducts that meet local and global consumption. It is further resolved to send a copy of this resolution to Renmatics, Andre Fortin, Will Amos, Ministers Lacombe, Fitzgibbons, Dufour, and O'Regan. It is further resolved to forward the resolution to our 18 municipalities for endorsement and support.
Okay.
And
So now
Jane.
we're going to vote. Yes. We're going to do
The resolution on which you voted on January 20th, it was also included. It is further resolved that this resolution go back to the plenary committee.
But are you saying that now we're sending it back to the plenary, Bernard, or not?
This was the resolution that was on which you voted 2 weeks ago, and we have to vote again on the entire resolution. So that includes this last sentence.
And so you are leaving this in because this would go back to plenary, or if it is voted against, it's just defeated. Is that right?
It is the resolution on which you have to vote today.
But can you explain, are we voting just to send it to plenary or we're voting on the whole resolution?
On the whole resolution.
So a vote for sends it to plenary, a vote against defeats the resolution. Is that what you're saying?
You vote on what was read by Mayor Orr, and you include in that the last sentence that is referring to the plenary committee. That's a whole, and you have to vote on it.
Okay.
And there's no amendment allowed.
No amendment allowed, but if it's in favor, it goes back to plenary. If it is against, it is defeated. Okay.
If it's in.
All right, I'm going to go down. It's a recorded vote, so just say yay or nay.
Look, Jane, I have a quick question.
Who's that? James Gibson.
Jim
Yes,
Gibson.
go ahead.
That says here the federal government has invested $500,000. Was that financially or was it in kind? Who got the $500,000 and where did it go?
I believe it was in kind.
Okay.
The $500,000 was the money that was required to do the studies.
Okay, I'm calling the vote. I'm calling the vote now. I'm going to call out the municipality. Please say yes or no. Elena Kaywood, Mayor. Are you in favor of this resolution or not?
I don't like some of the wording, so I think it should go back. No, I'm not with it.
Okay. Mayor Bristol, Mayor Orr.
Yes.
Okay. Mayor of Bryson, Alain Gagnon.
En faveur.
Okay. Mayor of Campbell's Bay, Mayor Beauregard.
I'm in favor.
Mayor of Chichester, Donnie Gagnon.
In favor.
Mayor of Clarendon.
In favor.
Don Chung. Thank you. Mayor of Fort Collonge, Mayor Laporte.
Against.
Mayor, it will be the pro mayor of Grand Calumet, Alice Pieszki.
I'm against.
Mayor of L'Île-aux-Allumettes.
I vote in favor.
Mayor of Litchfield.
In favor.
Mayor of Mansfield-et-Pontefract.
Against.
Mayor of Otter Lake.
Against.
Mayor of Portage de Fort. Lynn Cameron, Mayor Lynn Cameron, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, asking for your vote, for or against?
It's the wording, so I'm
against. Okay. Rapide des Joachim, Mayor Gibson.
Yeah, I need more clarification on the wording. There's that doesn't cover what I want to be in there. I'm for the project, but I'm against the wording. I'm against it.
Mayor of Sheenborough, Doris Ranger. Mayor of Sheenborough, Doris Ranger.
I'm for it.
Okay. Mayor of Thorne, Karen Kelly.
Against.
Mayor of Waltham, Dave Rochon.
No.
Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Mayor of Shawville, I didn't call out.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yes.
Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9-9 again.
Excuse me.
So I will cast the deciding vote, and I am also against the resolution.
Jane, can I ask if there was an attestation for the participation of the pro mayor for Calumet Island? There needs to be a resolution attesting for her presentation.
So I'll just say.
Can I ask the staff if that was done?
I have a text from Serge Newberry saying it was okay that Alice took his place. He's looking after his child because his partner has gone back to work, and it's a lot of work for him this week.
To my understanding, for some reason, I thought when it was a vote you needed a resolution from the
Well,
council.
I'm not sure, and maybe this is something that can be looked at, but the vote is finished.
Yes,
And
I think it
I have
should be
cast my
clarified
vote.
by Travis. Can I ask Travis to clarify? Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hello, Madam Warden. Good evening, everyone. According to our records, we have not officially received the attestation. In many instances, we do get from local municipal councils a resolution stating that the council has basically designated a specific councillor to act as the replacement for the mayor and to therefore act as the pro-mayor in instances where that's required. In our records, we have not. We're looking into that right now to confirm that that's the case, but according to what we have here, it doesn't appear that we have over the past years received or months received this attestation. So myself and Bernard are looking into that, and we can confirm in a few minutes, if I may allow myself to look into this further for a few moments.
Okay.
May I say
Well, we're
something
going
on
to
that?
go on to the next item, which is, well, you're looking into it, so we can try to get this finished for the two mayors that have to leave and go to their council meetings. And so we're now going to the CN Corridor Bylaw 269-2021. And I'm going to leave the meeting, and Pro Warden Carty Villeneuve is going to take the chair. And I believe Alexandre is going to present the resolution. Okay, thank you.
Okay, merci. So, Alexandre, est-ce que tu vas introduire le règlement 269-2021? So, Alex will introduce the bylaw 269-2021.
Oui, donc on peut ouvrir le premier document PDF. Je vais présenter juste la norme là, du règlement. Donc, je vais en faire la lecture. I will be reading the regulative framework for the bylaw. So I think it's at section 12, donc à la section 12. Juste un petit peu plus haut. Donc, à la suite de la consultation publique là, qui a eu lieu du 17 décembre au 10 janvier, comme vous savez, on a reçu 22 commentaires. On a préparé le rapport de consultation publique qui a été présenté au conseil en comité plénier ainsi que déposé au conseil du 20 janvier. Ce document est disponible sur le site web de la MRC. Donc, on va faire la lecture en français. Je vais faire la lecture en anglais par la suite, si ça convient. Donc, à l'article 12 du règlement, donc 269-2021, c'est vraiment la norme que le Conseil a été proposé. Donc, l'article 12, sur l'ancien corridor ferroviaire du Canadien national, traversant les municipalités de Bristol, Clarendon, Litchfield et Portage-du-Fort, toute nouvelle construction et toute nouvelle opération cadastrale, incluant le morcellement de l'eau fait par aliénation, sont interdites. L'utilisation prioritaire du sol sur ce corridor est le transport ferroviaire de personnes et de marchandises, et ce, dans l'éventualité où un projet de cette nature verrait le jour. Entre-temps, les usages permis sur ce corridor sont les suivants. La circulation des motoneiges, des véhicules d'entretien et des véhicules d'urgence du 1er décembre au 31 mars de l'année suivante. La circulation des motoquads, des autoquads, donc ce qu'on appelle les véhicules côte à côte, et des véhicules d'entretien et des véhicules d'urgence du 1er avril au 30 novembre. Malgré ce qui précède, peut-être une information pour les élus, ce petit paragraphe, c'est un ajout qu'on vous propose ce soir. Donc, malgré ce qui précède, le propriétaire ou le locataire de ce corridor peut en restreindre l'utilisation selon différentes modalités, y compris dans le cas où aucune entente ne serait conclue avec un club de véhicules hors route pour l'aménagement, la signalisation et l'entretien du sentier sur ce corridor. Et enfin, aux fins de l'application de la loi sur les véhicules hors route du Québec, ce corridor est désigné comme un sentier aménagé dans une emprise ferroviaire désaffectée. Donc, on peut aller à l'anglais pour la même article. Donc, Section 12 of the bylaw. 269/2021. As I said, there was a public consultation report that was tabled at the January 20th council. This report is available on our website, and you can access it at any time. So this bylaw tonight for adoption, section 12 of the bylaw is really the regulative framework on the former Canadian National Railway corridor crossing the territories of Bristol, Clarendon, Litchfield, and Portage du Fort. Any new construction and any cadastral operation, including the subdivision of lot by alienation, are forbidden. The priority land use on this corridor is the rail transportation of people and goods in the event that a project of this nature were to come to fruition or to light. In the meantime, the permitted uses on this corridor are the following: snowmobile, maintenance vehicle, and emergency vehicle traffic from December 1st to March 31st of the following year, as well as quad bike, recreational off-highway vehicle, that is side-by-side vehicle, maintenance vehicle, and emergency vehicle traffic from April the 1st to November 30th. And this section is an addition for council, just to notice. So notwithstanding the foregoing or the above, the owner or the leaseholder of this corridor may restrict its use under various terms and conditions, including in the event that no agreement be reached with an off-highway vehicle club for the laying out, signage, and maintenance of the trail on this corridor. So this is the sentence that would be added for council tonight if you wish to accept that. Otherwise, we will come back to the version that was presented on the 20th of January, or the plenary of the 13th. And finally, the last sentence for the paragraph: for the purpose of the application of the Quebec Off-Highway Vehicles Act, this corridor is designated as a trail laid out on an abandoned railroad right-of-way. Donc, dernier élément, ce soir, si le conseil décide d'adopter ce règlement, la prochaine étape, c'est de faire approuver l'entrée en vigueur du règlement par le gouvernement du Québec en vertu du processus-là qui est dans la loi sur l'aménagement et l'urbanisme. So the last element to mention tonight on this bylaw is that if it carries tonight, the next step is to go forward to send this to the Quebec government for official approval under the Quebec Land Use and Development Act. And I might pass it to Cindy for further steps after the government approval.
Cindy, did you want to speak or no?
I can offer a few quick points if you like, just to say that, as Alex mentioned, this goes to the government for their approval, but outside of the regulatory process, after we receive approval from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, before the trail actually comes into effect and is operational, there are federation steps that have to take place. There is a trail committee at the federation level that has to approve all new snowmobile trails in a province. And then once a new snowmobile trail has been approved by this committee at the federation, there is also a secondary committee, committee of quads and snowmobiles that also must approve it, and they make sure that all of the minimal sizing and everything is in place to meet the regulations of the trail.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions for either Alex or Cindy?
No.
Okay, so does someone want to propose to adopt the bylaw?
I will.
Karen, everyone in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I'm against. Brent, I'm against.
Okay, Brent is against. Is there anyone else against?
Until we get clarification about the bypass from the NCC, I have to vote against it.
Okay, is there anyone else against the bylaw 269-2021?
I would like to make a comment. Brent, I didn't realize that we didn't have permission. I agree with you that until we actually have permission, right down the line, we should not go ahead. Sorry,
Okay,
Kim.
so everyone else is in agreement except Karen and Brent, Mayor Orr, and Mayor Kelly.
I will be against to support the Bristol municipality.
You're against Mayor Armstrong?
That's right. I'm going to support the Bristol municipality. This has to be corrected before anything goes ahead as far as some of the sections down there, or the line isn't going to go ahead anyway. So it still needs clarification. So I'm against.
Could I ask what the issue is?
I'll let Brent answer that.
Yeah, it's when we met last week with Alain Goulet of the Skidoo Club. They're presently in negotiations with Nature Conservancy for a bypass around the Pontiac Station area. On our property, on Bristol's property, Nature Conservancy, and I believe there's one other private owner.
So it's possible that the Nature Conservancy could block it, or?
They're looking to move it off the CN corridor and into the Nature Conservancy in the wintertime to alleviate the noise and that for the residents of Pontiac Station.
That'll never happen.
Does anyone else have any comments or concerns? Okay, so there is 3 mayors that are opposed to the resolution, so it is carried. So that's okay, Travis, you have that all recorded?
But you didn't have someone that made the resolution because Karen changed her mind.
Yes, if I may, Madam Pro Warden, I was asking, or I was about to ask if it's possible to request that someone move this resolution.
Someone else to make the resolution.
That's true. Sorry about that because Karen had proposed it. So is there someone else to propose the resolution?
I will propose the resolution, Morris, Beauregard, Campbell's Bay.
You will propose it, Morris? Okay.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. So then Morris Beauregard proposes the resolution and Mayor Armstrong, Mayor Orr, and Mayor Kelly is opposed to the bylaw 269-2021. So therefore it is carried. Thank you. Bernard, est-ce que tu vas demander à Jane de retourner?
She is trying to connect again, just a few minutes, 1 minute or 2.
Okay, merci.
Okay, oops. Okay. You finished that item, Pro Warden Cartier-Villeneuve?
Yes.
Okay, merci beaucoup pour ça. Now we go to the last item, which we had renamed item 10, and that is the PPJ Route Vert 2020 report. Kim Lesage.
Hi. As part of the Route Verte funding program, which we were granted up to $125,000, one of the conditions is to approve an annual report of expenses towards that the maintenance of the PPJ Trail, and it has to be moved by resolution. So I prepared a report for 2020 that has the first page is in French, but the second is in French. The third is some facts about the trail and its maintenance for the year. So some key points are laid out about that the bike path was open and the measures throughout COVID, the workers that we had, and a summer student that was funded by what was that? Emploi Étudiant Canada. the BC bounds that were installed, the bike repair stations, the granular resurfacing that was done on the trail, an asphalt patch in Fort Collunge, regular monitoring of culverts, beaver control, trees that were felled, promotional video that was published on social media, Facebook and YouTube, that reached over 10,000 people. That it's also one of our tourist attractions, the most requested or questioned about at the MRC, and just the discussion of the snowmobile use in the winter. So those are the key points for the year 2020. And then the next page has just a few items. You know, it was talked about on the news, in the papers, things like that. And then the last page is the expenses that are related to the maintenance of the trail that was funded 50% by the Route Verte. And a total of that is 257,000, and it's laid out between the salaries, the maintenance, the gas for the machines, the equipment, the license plates, insurance, and so forth. So the portion funded by the MRC would total $132,127.11, and the Route Verte this year we will be asking for the full $125,000. And then they already paid, I think, is 80% upfront. So this is just to get the balance, the 20% of that money. So I would, if someone would like to propose a resolution to approve this annual report.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Kim. Who would like to move this?
I will.
Moved by Mayor Gibson. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. And that is the end of our meeting. So could I have a resolution to close the meeting, please? Moved by Mayor Report.
Not done yet.
Opposed? Yes.
Not done.
Pardon?
Jane, could I make a statement, please?
Well, first of all, Mayor, we just closed the meeting, but anyways, Mayor LaRiviere, what did you want to ask?
I don't think we should have closed the meeting, Jane. We didn't get the answer from Travis to whether that motion passed or not, or like.
Well, I think.
Are you disputing my presence? Is that it?
It's okay, Alice. We won't get into an argument. I believe, Mayor LaRiviere, that Bernard Waugh and Travis are working on this, and they will update us after the meeting. Okay, so we have had a resolution to close the meeting. All those in favor?
No, I'm against. I'm against.
You're against closing the meeting. You want to stay here?
I'm against.
You want to stay here? Mayor
Jane,
Armstrong? Mayor Armstrong, yes.
It's just a simple statement I'd like to make. I don't know what the hurry is.
Go ahead. Please be kind.
Thank you. No, that's a good statement to start off with.
Yes.
I would just like to thank Cindy and Alexandre for being on the committee with us, with Brent and I. It went very well, and they had the proper people on, and we had Alain on. So to those people, I would just like to say a thank you.
Thank you for saying that. And I know it was difficult and hard work for some of you. And in particular, I'm happy to hear that you're happy, Mayor Armstrong and Mayor Orr. And so thank you for that, and recognition to Cindy and to Alex. Good
Thank
work.
you very much. Merci.
Okay.
Could I make a comment, please?
Mayor Sundstrom, go ahead.
So I don't think the meeting should close until we get clarification from the Director General. The vote at this point is 9-8, and whether the 9th vote counts or not is in question. And if the 9th vote doesn't count, then the warden doesn't get a vote, as I understand.
Okay, well, just one moment. Be right back. Bernard?
It's not, what I can say tonight, it's not the first time that Alice is attending a meeting, and the information, we don't have the information in the office. We don't have this resolution. we will ask the municipality, the council of l'Île du Grand-Calumet to send us this resolution,
Okay.
naming her.
Okay, no, just a minute. We're talking about a resolution that was put on the table tonight. She voted tonight, so it needs to be, if there's nothing that you have no documents proving or authorizing that tonight, then her vote doesn't count tonight.
May I say something, please?
Go ahead, Mayor.
Could you check Article 116 of the Municipal Code?
Thank you. I don't have it at my fingertips. What does it say?
Just a sec there, and I'll get it.
Which one, Alice?
116. L'article 116. Ça mentionne les pouvoirs du pro-maire et ainsi de suite. Ça le dit bien qu'en tout temps, quand le maire est indisposé, le pro-maire a les mêmes droits, les mêmes privilèges que le maire.
Okay.
Je comprends, Madame Pieski, puis je respecte votre opinion. C'est bien clair dans le code municipal. Par contre, toute autre fois qu'un pro-maire a siégé et a voté à la MRC, une résolution était requise. Fait que je me demande pourquoi que ça n'a pas été requise. Ça a été inventé par la MRC ou c'est quelque chose qui existe? That's my concern. Any other time I know when my pro-mayor replaced me, we had to adopt a resolution at council and send it prior to the meeting.
Right.
So what has changed?
I'll tell you one thing that's changed is that at a meeting a few months ago, we made it clear that we were going to change bylaws at MRC so that we would have 18 municipalities represented at all meetings, because we were starting to see some mayors missing meetings and they were not sending pro-mayors. And so it has been my great effort every meeting. You'll notice I asked the attendants 2 or 3 times. And if any of you are missing, I will be trying to reach your pro-mayor to take your place, because the people of the Pontiac deserve to have 18 mayors at all meetings. And if not 18 mayors, pro-mayors, representatives of all municipalities. And I will also say this, it's personal, but Mayor Newberry has a big challenge right now. He's got a newborn baby and he's looking after it. And I think he just didn't realize the meeting had started. I was in communication and he told me that he was happy to have Alice there. We're not resolving it tonight. The meeting is finishing. And, excuse me, I'm the president of the meeting.
No, this meeting is not over.
Just a minute.
This meeting is not over.
We already voted on it closing.
No.
Not until the answer is given.
Yes, and I'd like to.
The answer is that a letter is coming from Grand
It's a little late to be coming
right
now.
You don't write the rules, Jane.
Gordon Toller.
Point of order.
Point of order. Who's that?
Gordon Toller. Excuse me. Can I ask Travis to read Article 116 from the beginning, please?
Fuck off.
From the beginning, Travis.
Yes, so if I may just intervene briefly to provide perhaps a summary of the interpretation that myself and Bernard and likely others have in the legal sphere in regards to this. I hope you can all hear me well. I can start as requested by Mayor Larivière by reading Article 116. There's also an article in the in French, it's referred to as being La Loi sur les cités et les villes, which would basically in English, the equivalent is the Cities and Towns Act. And there's also a reference in this specific law, more specifically Article 56, that pertains to the role of the pro-mayor. So if I start with Article 116, basically in English, this would read, if you give me a moment, I'll retrieve the article. It basically reads that the council may, at any time, appoint one of the councillors as acting mayor who, in the absence of the mayor, or when the office is vacant, discharges the duties of the mayoralty with all the privileges and rights and subject to all the obligations thereunto attached. So my understanding of this, and it relates to some extent, and this would likely require more interpretation and more analysis as well, but this to some extent relates to Article 56 in the Act respecting cities and towns, which is not necessarily here at the MRC, the Act that we're subject to. Most of the parameters that we take into account are relevant to the municipal code or contained in the municipal code. But fundamentally, it also basically speaks to the fact that the council shall appoint a councillor as acting mayor for the period it determines. And I believe that the conventions and the practices that have been established over the course of time, and we need to look at how that's been applied systematically across the board. But my understanding is that there is more often than not, when we talk about the appointment of a person who's part of a local council, so a councillor who basically acts as a councillor, when we talk about the appointment of such a person as or to the position of pro-mayor, which basically allows the said person to act as the, of course, representative of the municipality at the MRC council, my understanding is that that appointment is done by way of the adoption of a resolution at the local council, which is agreed to by the local council and then fundamentally sent to, in our case, the decisive body or the decision-making body that is the MRC to confirm or attest to the fact that this individual who is a member of the council is indeed the person who has been awarded the mandate by its local council to act as the pro-mayor in the absence of the mayor. Now, the question that myself and Bernard have in regards to the interpretation of this specific law, normally I do agree that we would have on hand the said document to attest to the person's role. But the question that one can pose as well, and I believe that this is the legal limbo that we happen to be in, and then council can do what it will with that, would the designation or the appointment of the said person as pro-mayor, once officialized by the local council, stand and be applicable in a setting like the one we're in tonight, even if it hasn't been officially received at the MRC? Of course, as it stands tonight, we don't have in our records this official confirmation of the fact that the pro-mayor who is here tonight or the councillor who is here tonight has been appointed to that position. But the question that I believe is being posed, and I'll let Bernard add to that, is that fundamentally the only requirement? And I believe that we may, following tonight's meeting, if I may allow myself to say so, look at the jurisprudence in this regard and also look at precedents that have been established over the course of time in regards to the application of the various legal provisions, some of which we have mentioned already, namely Article 116 in the Municipal Code, in Article 56 in the Cities and Towns Act, to determine how that has been applied. My understanding and my reading of this and my analysis, and I believe it would be the analysis of other individuals as well who would look into the matter, is that you normally have the ability to testify to the fact that this is indeed the case through the receipt of a formal resolution in that regard. But perhaps that's not necessarily the standard rule that's been applied over the course of time. So it will require on our end perhaps additional research, and without wanting to put him on the spot in any way, I may let Bernard add to that if he wishes, either in English or in French.
Jane, may I say something, please?
Yes.
Travis, just to reconfirm, so the tie actually was 9-9 and Jane voted, so it made it 10-9, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So
Yeah.
if Alice's vote does not count, so it removes the vote. So the vote is 9-9. So
Oh, it
if
isn't.
memory serves me correctly, a tie vote will take.
Kim,
Well-
I can only vote when it's a tie. So if Alice's
Oh,
vote
yes,
is removed,
Yeah.
then it's
So
9.
if Alice is removed.
Yes, but
I could just,
Okay.
I believe that
if I could just make a comment, please. Do you mind, Jane, if I make a comment?
go ahead.
So if the council at Grand Calumet has made a resolution before tonight's meeting, then it would, the pro-mayor would be appointed. but the council at Grand Calumet cannot make a resolution tomorrow to appoint
I
her.
already have a resolution
Effectively.
appointing me as pro-mayor.
That's right, Al. Anyways, you know something, it's not going to be decided right now. And everybody has expressed themselves, and we'll leave it in the capable hands of Bernard and Travis, and I'm sure they'll speak to Mark Tremblay. And all I can say is that Serge Newberry contacted me and said that it was that Alice had his blessing being here in his place. I guess for the future, there has to be always something in writing, but sometimes it's difficult to arrange that. You know, we all have busy lives. And anyway, I just think for the sake of two of our mayors who are trying to get to their meetings, it's not pleasant for anyone having this kind of discussion. So we're just not going to resolve it ourselves. We'll let Travis and Bernard, who I have full faith in, they always seem to guide us well in the end. So we did already move a resolution. I can't remember who closed the meeting, but I think it was Debbie Laporte. So all those in favor of closing the meeting, Mayor Laporte?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I guess that's carried then. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.